The Galactic Council chamber was silent, too silent. Ambassador Krex looked at the empty chair where Earth's representative usually sat. It had been empty for 3 months now. No explanation, no goodbye, no angry words. Humanity had simply left. They didn't even slam the door, whispered the Zentari delegate. They just walked away, and that silence, it was the loudest thing the galaxy had ever heard. Part 1. The day everything changed. The trouble started 1 year ago. The Galactic Council had 47 member species, and humanity was the newest. They'd only been members for 10 years. Humans are too emotional, said Chairman Vork during a meeting. They want to help everyone. They share their technology too freely. They trust too easily. The other species nodded. Humans were strange. When the colony system faced a plague, humans sent medicine for free. When the Breen colonies needed food, human ships arrived with supplies. No payment needed. No contracts. Just help. This is not how the galaxy works, Vork had said. Everything has a price. We must teach them proper ways. So the Council made new rules. Humans could only trade with approved species. They couldn't share medical knowledge without Council permission. They couldn't send rescue ships without filing proper forms first. The human ambassador, Sarah Chen, had stood up slowly. She looked at each Council member. Then she said 5 words that nobody understood at the time. "You will miss us someday." She walked out. That was the last time anyone saw a human in the Council chambers. At first, nobody cared. The pompous Alterans laughed. "Let them pout like children," they said. The logical mechanoids calculated their economy is only 2% of galactic trade. Insignificant. But then things started to change. Small things at first. Things nobody noticed right away. The silent departure. 3 months passed after Sarah Chen left. Then the reports started coming in. "The human colony on Kepler 442b is empty," reported a confused patrol ship. "All 50,000 colonists gone. They left the lights on. Food still on tables, but no humans." "Mars Station Alpha isn't responding," came another report. "We sent a probe. The station is perfect. Everything works, but it's empty. Every human settlement, every space station, every mining outpost. Empty. Not destroyed, not damaged, just empty. The strangest part, they left everything running. Power plants still generated electricity. Farms still grew food. Hospitals still had medicine in storage. They even left instructions written in 100 different alien languages. Take what you need. Humanity. But where did 12 billion humans go? The Council sent search parties. They found nothing. No ships, no warp signatures, no communication signals. It was like humanity had turned invisible. Ambassador Krex of the Saurians was worried. "This isn't normal. Species don't just vanish." Chairman Vork waved his tentacles dismissively. "They're hiding somewhere trying to make us worry. They'll come back when they get hungry." But week after week passed. No humans. Then the real problem started. The colony plague returned, stronger than before. Their hospitals called for human doctors, but there were no humans to answer. Pirates attacked Breen supply ships. The convoy sent a distress signal, hoping for those famous human rescue ships that always came too fast, fought too hard, and never asked for payment. But space remained empty. A mining station's life support failed. 500 workers trapped. Everyone knew the humans would have sent their emergency teams. Humans always came when people were dying, always, but not this time. This time, 500 workers died waiting for rescues that never came. The cracks begin to show 6 months after humanity vanished. The Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. "Trade routes are failing," reported the Alteran economist. "Humans manage 30% of civilian shipping. We didn't realize. They did it so cheaply, others can't match their prices. Our medical facilities are overwhelmed," added the Zentari health minister. "Human doctors worked everywhere. They trained our young. They shared techniques. Without them, we're falling behind. Crime has increased 400%, the mechanoid security chief computed. Human peacekeepers had an unusual method. They talked to criminals, helped them find jobs, gave them hope. Our enforcement units only know punishment. It's not working." Chairman Vork slammed his tentacle on the table. "We are the Galactic Council. We ruled the stars before humans crawled from their mud. We don't need them." But they did. Oh, they did. The colony plague spread to 3 more systems. Without human vaccine formulas, which they had always shared freely, millions began to die. The outer rim fell into chaos. Human patrol ships had kept pirates afraid. Now pirates ruled entire sectors. Food shortages hit the core worlds. Nobody had realized how much food came from human agricultural worlds. Humans grew extra food just to give away. In case someone gets hungry, they used to say. Other species called them foolish. Now those same species stood in line for rations. But the worst part was the silence. No more human music in the trade stations. No more human laughter in the bars. No more human children playing with alien youngsters in the parks, teaching them games from Earth. No more humans rushing, always rushing to help when disaster struck. Space felt colder, darker, emptier. Ambassador Krex stood up in the council. We must find them. We must apologize. Apologize, Vork sneered. To those emotional primitives? Yes, Krex said firmly. Because they weren't primitive. They were better than us. And we were too proud to see it. The search and the truth, the Council sent their best ships to find humanity. They searched every planet, every moon, every asteroid where humans might hide. Nothing. Then, after 8 months of silence, they found one human. Just one, an old man sitting in a small station near Jupiter feeding some cats. When the Council delegation arrived, he didn't run. He just smiled. Hello, he said. I was wondering when you'd come. Where are the others? Demanded Vork. Where did humanity go? The old man petted his cat. You want the truth? You won't believe it. Tell us. We didn't go anywhere, the old man said. We're still here. All of us, we just stepped sideways. What does that mean? Krex asked desperately. The old man stood up and walked to the window. Humans have imagination. We dream, we hope, we believe in impossible things. That's why you thought we were primitive. But imagination is a power you never understood. He touched the window. We imagined a place where we could watch but not be seen, where we could exist but not interfere. And because 12 billion humans imagined it together, it became real. That's impossible, Vork sputtered. Is it? The old man smiled. You're talking to me, but can your senses find me? No, because I'm only here because I choose to be. The others are watching, waiting, one step removed from your reality. Come back, Krex pleaded. The galaxy needs you. The old man's face grew sad. You had us. We gave everything. Our medicine, our protection, our food, our friendship. We asked for nothing but to be allowed to help. And what did you do? You put chains on kindness. You made rules against compassion. You called our empathy weakness. We were wrong, Krex admitted. Please, people are dying. People were always dying, the old man said. But when we tried to help, you stopped us. You said everything must have a price, that nothing should be free. That emotion was primitive. He walked back to his cats. You know what's really primitive? Thinking that strength means standing alone. Thinking that intelligence means feeling nothing. Thinking that advanced species don't need each other. Tell them to come back, Vork ordered. As chairman of the Galactic Council, I demand. Demand? The old man laughed. You still don't understand. You can't demand love. You can't order friendship. You can't force compassion. These things are given freely or not at all. The lesson in silence, the old man gave them a choice. Humanity will return, he said, but only on one condition. No more council rules about who we can help. No more votes on whether saving lives is profitable. No more chains on kindness. That's chaos, Vork protested. Without rules, without control. Without control, you have trust, the old man interrupted. Without rules, you have choice. Without chains, you have freedom to be better than your worst impulses. He stood up, and for a moment, the delegation could see through him, see countless humans standing behind him, transparent like ghosts, watching, waiting, children holding toys they wanted to share, doctors with medicine ready to heal, engineers with solutions ready to build, soldiers ready to protect the weak, teachers ready to show new ways, all of humanity, one step removed from reality, waiting to help. You thought our emotions made us weak, the old man said. But emotions are what make us care. Caring is what makes us help. Helping is what makes civilization worth having. Vork's tentacles trembled. If we agree, if we remove the rules, then humanity returns. Instantly, completely, as if we never left. And if we don't? The old man's expression was sadder than anything they'd ever seen. Then you'll learn what the universe is like without human hearts in it. Cold, logical, efficient, and absolutely empty of the thing that makes life worth living. Which is? Krex whispered. Hope, the old man said. We bring hope, not because we're stronger or smarter, but because when everyone else calculates the odds, humans calculate how to beat them. When everyone else sees impossible, humans see not yet. When everyone else walks away, humans run toward danger to save strangers. He began to fade, becoming transparent like the others. Choose quickly, his voice echoed. Because while you decide, people are dying who don't have to die. Children are crying who could be laughing. And somewhere in the dark between stars, someone is calling for help that only human hearts are foolish enough to answer. The council looked at each other. For the first time in galactic history, the vote was unanimous. Remove all restrictions on human compassion. Vork spoke officially, his voice breaking. Let them help whoever they choose, however they choose. The old man solidified. He smiled, and across the galaxy in a single instant, 12 billion humans stepped back into reality. Ships appeared in mid-flight, already racing toward disasters. Hospitals filled with human doctors who got to work without asking questions. Human children ran back into playgrounds, laughing with alien friends who didn't even know they'd been gone. Sarah Chen walked back into the council chambers and took her seat. She said nothing. She just smiled and pulled out a list. The Kalani plague will be cured within 3 days, she said simply. The Outer Rim pirates are already being pushed back. Food shipments are en route to all affected systems. And that mining station that lost 500 workers? We've established a memorial fund for their families. No charge. Fork stared at her. How? How did you know about all of this if you were gone? Sarah's smile was kind but sad. We were never gone, Chairman. We were right here, watching you struggle with problems we could have solved. Watching people die who we could have saved. Do you know what that was like for us? To see suffering and not be allowed to help? She stood up. That's why we left. Not because we were angry, but because watching pain we couldn't heal was killing us slowly. Humans can survive many things, but we cannot survive being forced to not care. We understand now, Krex said quietly. But why come back? We don't deserve your help. No, Sarah agreed. You don't. But the children dying of plague do. The colonies under pirate attack do. The families without food do. We don't help because species deserve it. We help because we can't do otherwise. It's who we are. She looked around the chamber. You called us primitive because we feel too much. But feelings aren't primitive. Indifference is primitive. Caring for others, even when it costs you, even when they don't deserve it. That's the most advanced thing in the universe. From that day forward, the Galactic Council never again tried to restrict human compassion, and they learned something important. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology, or their ships, or their soldiers. It was their stubborn, irrational, absolutely unshakable belief that no one should suffer alone. The galaxy had learned its lesson in the silence of humanity's absence. Some species conquer worlds. Some species build empires, but humans save people. And that made them the most powerful force in the universe, because in the end, the species that everyone else turns to when hope is lost. That's the species that truly rules the stars, and they do it without making a sound. They just show up, help, and ask for nothing in return. That's what makes them human. That's what makes them irreplaceable. And that's why the silence of their absence was the loudest warning the galaxy ever received. The New Age years later, children across the galaxy learned about the silent departure in their history classes. They learned how the galaxy's most emotional species taught everyone else that feelings weren't weakness. They were the source of all strength. And whenever disaster struck, whenever hope seemed lost, everyone knew, somewhere, a human was already on their way, not because they had to be, but because they couldn't imagine being anywhere else. The Council never forgot the lesson. You can rule through fear. You can rule through strength. You can rule through logic, but only humanity ruled through love. And love, it turns out, was the only power that truly mattered. Because when humanity left without a sound, the galaxy finally heard what it had been missing all along, the heartbeat of hope. And once you've heard it, the silence without it is unbearable. That's why humanity will always be needed. That's why they'll always come back. And that's why the most advanced species in the universe are the ones who never forgot how to care. The end, sometimes. The most powerful statement isn't a shout of anger, it's the silence of absence. And sometimes the most advanced civilizations aren't the ones with the biggest weapons, but the ones with the biggest hearts.